in Texas know what the play is. If you rapping, you celebrity, if you like the strip club, you like to do this, you check in with them, they bringing them bad dice on you. Why you think they Duke the jeweler, they really couldn't get him? That's why they had to come on home.
I know people were associating me with the situation because I went to Boosie pool party. And he happened to be there, and he happened to be standing on
me with their JU situation because I hit up that Labu pool party. And guess who's just chilling there, standing on his boozy vibes? Out of nowhere, Boaz just flipped the whole game on its head, locking in a federal plea deal that's got the streets buzzing. Word on the low? This move might put Jay Prince and his notorious dice crew right in the crosshairs of the feds. And here's the kicker. This ain't just about some random gun charge anymore. Street whispers say this could crack open a high-stakes underground dice hustle that's been bleeding rappers dry for years. The same federal agents who've been digging into the Duke the Jeweler murder and those shady dice games leading up to his death are now circling back to every name connected to that night. And yes, that includes Boosie. Now, with Boosie agreeing to work out a deal with Uncle Sam, the question everybody's tossing around is loud and clear. Is he just saving his own skin, or is he about to drop names that could topple one of hip-hop's most feared crews? Because if even half these whispers are true, Jay Prince, the man who's been accused for years of running Houston's check-in game, could be staring down the kind of federal heat you don't talk your way out of. Dice game's been part of Houston's underground forever, but the ones tied to Jay Prince Jr., whole different beast. These ain't no laid-back rounds in somebody's basement. These are high-roller, invite-only events with stacks of cash on the line, and that infamous check-in rule so the house knows exactly who's in the room. But the streets swear there's a hidden catch that flips the odds before the first roll even hits the table. Mob ties. They got a playbook, and it's cold. Lure rappers and big spenders into a private spot. Keep the liquor flowing, pile the money high, and let the dice do their magic. Even Charleston White spoke on it, but not everybody was ready to hear him. According to Street Talk, this setup runs like a machine. 3-man rotation. One rolls, one holds, one swaps. And those dice, they ain't fresh from the box. They're cooked, weighted, shaved, and tweaked so the game bends exactly where they want it. The plan's simple. The house always wins, Jay Prince Jr. gets his cut, reportedly around 30%, and the losers walk out lighter, pockets bleeding. It's a straight-up problem. Minutes after that game, Duke is seen walking to his car. No security, no crew, just him. Then bang, bang. Shots rip through the night, and before anybody can even process it, Duke's gone. His jewelry? Still on him. Cash? Untouched, which tells you everything. This wasn't about robbery. This was about control. And that night, Duke cracked a system that wasn't supposed to be broken. Duke the Jeweler wasn't some random name floating through the scene. He was a heavyweight in the game. A respected Chicago jeweler with a client list most rappers would beg to have, dropping custom pieces worth millions, rocking a rep for flawless work, and a charm that made him a VIP at every hip-hop event he touched. So when Boosie called him out to Houston, Duke thought it was all business. But business wasn't what met him in that parking lot. We already said it. Duke was ambushed walking to his car. But here's what made the feds sit up. Every single piece of ice still on his body. Even his Louis Vuitton bag, stuffed with over $1 million in custom jewelry, didn't leave with him. That bag, it turned up at Boogie's house. Boogie swears Duke asked him to hold it during the game, and after the shooting, it just stayed with him. But it's not that simple. Duke's phone went dark right after pinging near Boogie's recording studio. And now federal investigators claim they've got the goods. Surveillance, text threads, witnesses, all pointing Boosie's circle straight into Duke's final hours. It gets even heavier. The feds have zeroed in on Boogie's own nephew as the possible shooter. That Louis Vuitton bag might be the reason Boogie's name is lighting up inside federal files. And here's where it gets real dangerous for Boosie. Why some folks are saying this plea deal ain't just about that 2023 gun case. Federal prosecutors didn't roll Duke the Jeweler's murder into Boosie's other charges by accident. They split it off on purpose. That's a classic Fed pressure play. When the feds isolate a case, it's because they want the heat locked in, laser-focused, and it gives them leverage. They can dangle leniency on one case in exchange for answers on another. And the Duke case? Oh, it's packed with landmines for Boogie's camp. First off, Duke's phone, the last digital breadcrumb of his life, pinged near Boosie's own recording studio before it suddenly went dark. That's not some throwaway detail the feds ignore. Then you got the physical evidence pulled from Duke's rental car, stuff tied directly to people inside Boosie's inner circle. Add in witness statements, And it's no mystery why investigators are tightening the noose. And here's the part Boosie can't control: the whispers that some of his own people might already be talking. Once the feds crack one person, it snowballs. Stories start shifting, timelines get sloppy, and the safest play for anyone under that kind of heat is to hand over what the feds want. So picture it. You're Boosie, staring down a federal gun case, a standalone murder probe, and the real possibility your crew is flipping one by one. 2 dice games, 2 dead. Duke the jeweler, gone just hours after leaving one. Takeoff, gunned down right outside another. Different nights, different stories, but the pattern? Crystal clear. Big money, big names, bullets before sunrise, and the industry ain't keeping quiet. Whack 100 has flat out accused J. Prince Jr. of running setups, traps designed to pull high-profile rappers into games they cannot win unless the House says so. You've already heard Charleston White call it dice nights rigged with loaded cubes, airtight control, and that unspoken threat: roll the wrong way or win too much, and you're a target before you can even pocket your cash. It paints a cold picture, an ecosystem where trust is smoke and mirrors, and power plays happen deep in the shadows. And here's the real danger. If Boosie starts talking, naming names from the inside, this so-called check-in culture that's ruled Houston for years could crumble overnight. Because once you crack open the truth about Houston's check-in game, you can't ignore what's already bubbling under the surface. The streets aren't the only ones watching. Artists are quietly pulling back, some skipping Houston shows entirely, others refusing appearances where mob ties might be in the mix. Publicly, J. Prince Sr. swears there's no such rule about having to check in. The fear ain't just about catching a stray bullet, it's about getting caught in the politics. OGs in the game been warning younger artists for months, stay out of Houston's dice scene. Because once you step in, it's no longer just about the stacks you win or lose. It's about who's standing next to you when the night flips from fun to fatal. Look at Finesse 2 times. He went from being tight with J. Prince Jr. to blasting their fallout in public. He claimed he got stiffed on money and dropped hints about straight-up disrespect behind the curtain. Then the rumors hit. A messy baby mama scandal that just piled more cracks on their already shaky alliance. True or not, the drama pushed a growing narrative. J. Prince Jr. is bleeding allies faster than he can pull in new ones. And it's not just the artists feeling that heat, the labels are watching too. With all this attention on dice game controversies and the bodies connected to them, record execs are quietly telling their rosters to keep their distance. They know one bad headline can kill a whole rollout, and no brand wants to be one Instagram live away from a crime scene. That's why if Boosie really does start dropping names, this won't just rattle Houston. It could send shockwaves through the entire rap game. With agencies like the FBI, DEA, ATF, and even ICE teaming up with HPD, this ain't just about sweeping up small-timers. This is about dismantling whole empires. From the shooters on the block to the money movers in the back rooms, these operations are designed to take out every link in the chain. And if the feds decide mob ties is next, they've already got the blueprint ready to go. Word in Houston says there are already sealed warrants with mob ties' name on them, the kind that can flip into arrests overnight. And with HPD's Criminal Intelligence Division working shoulder to shoulder with federal task forces, every handshake, every off-the-record favor, every quiet move in that network is under a microscope. All it might take to crack it wide open is one piece of hard evidence, like a leaked video from those infamous dice nights. If something drops showing who was in the room, who was moving the cash, or who greenlit certain plays, that's not gossip anymore. That's case-closing ammo. And that's where Boosie's situation gets downright dangerous. If he's really playing ball with the feds, they could give him protection in exchange for inside intel. But in the streets, that kind of protection is a double-edged blade. It might keep the law off your back, but it can paint a fat red target on your chest. Because once people think you're feeding the other side, your name stops being whispered and starts being spoken in straight-up threats. So what do you think? Will Boosie take that deal and put mob ties on the chopping block, or will he keep quiet and face the fire? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this story's far from over and you don't want to miss what's coming next.